Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Liverpool Latest. I am your host, Matt, and I got a lot to talk about today involving Konate's contract, Isak's injury, and some updates from our fellow Reds playing in the international break. Let's get right to it, shall we? Konate's contract contradiction is what I'm kind of calling this segment of the show because he's finally spoken on the situation. Now, if you guys remember, about a week or so ago, I put out a report, or what was a rumored report as I called it, that he had been given a new contract. He was yet to accept or deny it, and I had trouble confirming whether or not this contract was even legitimate, hence why I personally called it a rumor. Well, it seems as though Konate has confirmed it himself, that there is no new offer that has been given to him or his agents, so it obviously contradicts the reports, the few reports that we have seen and talked about here on the show. But he does say that his agents remain in talks with Liverpool about the ongoing situation and that he will make his decision, in his words, very soon. And he wants to announce it publicly, honestly. And it makes complete sense. Obviously, I'll be here to talk about it when that time comes. But I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I don't know why it took this long for it to be confirmed or denied. Like, it kind of annoys me personally because he could have shut this down, like, ASAP. I don't know why it took him so long to kind of shut that report down. Because, when reports like that happen, and the media and social media get a grip of it, now they're going to start, the fire is going to start rolling. One little ember turns into a giant forest fire, and it seems like it was getting to that point, and I'm glad Konate said something now, but I don't know why it took him so long to say anything at all. As we all know, his contract expires in June of 2026, and July 1st he can legally sign a pre-contract with any non-English club. And of course, we all know Real Madrid and it seems PSG have all been linked to his name. Here's a couple of quotes that he himself said during this press conference. I've seen a lot of things in the press recently, like Liverpool have made me a new contract offer. I don't know where that's coming from. And neither do I. Like I said, no clue how that even happened or why it even happened in the first place. I guess maybe some people were trying to create some tension or some rumors, maybe trying to get him to sign a new contract when one was presented to him. My agents are continuing discussions with Liverpool. I hope my decision will be made very soon so I can announce it. So, honestly, there's really not much more to say right now on that situation. He said everything he needs to say, and everything that he needs to say I trust more than whatever stories are out there at this point in time. Luckily, we'll hopefully have an answer soon, but if I'm being honest with you, given the situation that the team is in, I'm kind of sick of waiting at this point. I'm just sick of waiting. Get it the fuck over with already. Hopefully the next contract they give him is sufficient enough where he just says yes, and we can all be done with it. Because I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of seeing fake reports on the subject. I don't know what the media is attempting to do, but by putting out that story, but I don't know. I just don't know. Here's a little bonus tip, by the way, for you guys. I did talk about in a previous video about France and how Konate and Editike were playing, or Konate actually was not on the pitch, but he talked about helping Editike adapt at Liverpool, and he says that he challenged him. He was tired after training, but didn't want the gym, so he asked him, do you want to play for France? And I guess that little talk he had with him motivated him because, as I mentioned in a previous video, Editike scored his goal for France and helped them on with the victory. And he says he's really stepped up So, and that's really good news. So I hope Etike finds continued success. Another player that we are hoping that he continues to improve would be Florian Wirtz. And it seems as though he had a very busy day against Luxembourg as Germany defeated them 2-0 on the 14th. So this is everything I've gathered about the match. I've watched a couple of highlights and such, and I don't want to say that Wirtz did bad, but I also feel like, from what I'm reading here, it's kind of more of the same as what we've typically seen from Liverpool. He might have some games of greatness, and he might have some games of doing little to nothing to make an effort. A couple of things he did during the match, especially in the first half. A shot that he had was saved by Luxembourg's keeper Anthony Morris, or I guess Maury, if we're using a French pronunciation. Either way, keeper saved it. Later, he sent another effort over the bar, which, damn. Something that I'm not used to, something that we're used to seeing from any Liverpool player at this point, hitting shots straight over the bar. He completed 5 successful dribbles out of 6 attempts, made 5 recoveries, and won 8 of his 10 ground duels, according to an analysis by Sportsmole. And he only created 1 chance for a teammate, and none of his 5 crosses found a target. So, all in all, he was dangerous. He was active. His production was solid, but as far as getting that final pass to the player, that was still a little bit yet to be desired, which is a shame because, again, in my opinion, it's a little bit more of the same that we've seen from Wirtz in Liverpool. I hope he does better. That said, according to Sportsmole, again, he got an 8.0, which is the highest rating of any German player in the match for them. So maybe that's good. Maybe it's bad. I mean, again, it's not terrible. From what I'm reading, it's not terrible, but it seems like it's on par for what he's already been doing. So I'm just going to let you guys take that for what it is, and you can tell me what you think about his performance down in the comment section below. I'm sure there'll be another game for me to talk about with Wirtz in the near future as well. Another team that I'd like to discuss would be Netherlands, as they had a 1-1 draw with Poland, and it just seems like this is two teams that constantly are going at it, trying to find information about this particular match that happened yesterday on the 14th. Is driving me nuts because they've played so many games together that I kept getting stuff from months ago, years ago. It's just like, God damn, when am I gonna find the actual match that I'm looking for? But goes to show how many times that they have faced each other. So we had 3 players on the Netherlands that played that match. Van Dijk, Gakpo, and Gravenberch. So I'm going to kind of give you guys a little bit more in-depth on what they did throughout the course of the match. Big Verge was the captain, obviously, for the team. He had a very hard evening's work because Poland defended in low block and the Dutch struggled to keep many clear chances. He did help the Netherlands control possession. They had 69% possession throughout the course of the match. And, he was solid. There was no major defensive errors in the match that is reported that I have seen. So, all in all, reliable as always, and a steady leader as we expect him to be. Gakpo was part of the starting 11 as well. He provided a dangerous cross early in the second half, and his cross went over the Polish keeper. I don't know what else to say at that point. Typical Cody Gakpo. But Daniel Malin's header was saved, and then Memphis Depay scored the rebound. So it seems like Gakpo was a key person in a offensive sequence, but he did not directly get the assist for the goal that was eventually scored by the Netherlands. Yes, by the Netherlands. So nothing nothing out of the ordinary, I would say, for Gakpo. Obviously, I would want him to show a little bit more and get a goal, but the fact that he even had any sort of influence in the leading up to the goal is a good sign as well. Gravenberch, midfield, obviously. He wasn't substituted until like the 89th minute of the match. So basically, he played almost the entirety of the match. So good for him. He's been progressing quite well in that. He helped maintain possession and link play between defense and attack, but match reports don't highlight any particular dangerous chances or standout dribbles from him. So, all in all, solid presence, contributed to the ball control and stability. No substantial attacking impact, which, I mean, when you have so many other good players in the Netherlands, it's not going to be something out of the ordinary for me. I mean, I didn't expect everybody to do fantastic, but I expected maybe just a little bit more out of some players like Gakpo, and Van Dijk obviously had his work cut out for him on the defensive end. So, it's not terrible. I mean, the boys are doing as well as they possibly can. A couple other players were involved as well throughout the course of yesterday, or the 14th, I should say. Endo didn't even play. I think McAllister probably played for Argentina, but that wasn't really all that important because Argentina is going to make the World Cup anyway. So I don't see a point in talking about something that isn't already confirmed, or that's already been confirmed. I want to know about what the players are doing to get their countries to the competition that is the 2026 World Cup. Another player that is, well, having little to no impact, unfortunately, is Alexander Isak and his current injury situation. Now, as we all know, he's on international duty. He was called up by Sweden. Graham Potter said that he confirmed that he was available. We all got our hopes up thinking that he was going to play something substantial during the Man City match, and lo and behold, he was on the bench. And it seems as though it is more of the same for Isak, who has struggled with his fitness all season since joining Liverpool in particular. And it sucks. And this is what happens when you miss preseason because you're having a contractual struggle with the current team he was on, which was Newcastle. And as much as I admire his cojones for, putting himself in that situation and trying to get out of Newcastle, at the end of the day, I don't think it did him very good as far as a fitness point of view. So, Slot's been doing his best to introduce him, but it's just not working out the way we all have hoped at this point. And obviously, when he feels better, I hope he performs to I hope he performs to the form that we all hope he can play at, and we all know he can play at, because after all, I've been saying this forever. Isak terrorized us on Newcastle. He's terrorized us on more than a few occasions. And the fact that I'm seeing him not play is just like a really weird feeling from a fan point of view. I'm just like, here's a guy that was almost like one of our worst nightmares, and now he's becoming like a kitten instead of like a tiger, all because of an injury. So as far as his international status is going, he was called up by Sweden, like I said, and he's been an unused substitute since then. He's obviously been training a little bit here and there. Sweden says that they are managing his minutes carefully because he's not ready to play 2 full 90-minute matches. But they still consider him a key player if they decide to use him properly. And, Graham Potter's offered a couple of comments, says Isak has had a good week physically, stresses that Sweden must be smart with his workload, and reiterates that his return to fitness is ongoing, and it's not complete. So, why the fuck did you call him up then? Why would you call him up if you're not going to fucking use him? I mean, to train, maybe. This seems to be like where we're at right now. He's just there to train at this point. He's not there to play. I mean, if you're not going to put him in the match or put him in a significant portion of the game, why the fuck did you bother? you got all of our hopes up as a result, which doesn't make any sense to me. So I kind of like tisk towards Sweden a little bit, just because I'm just angry about this whole situation. Of course, lo and behold, Sweden are in the bottom of their group. They're 1 point in 4 games. They have to win their next 2 matches against Switzerland and Slovenia, and hope to God that Kosovo loses both their games to have a chance. So Potter says Isak isn't focused on Liverpool. His main focus is on Sweden. But how could his main focus be on Sweden when he's more or less being a glorified training partner? I don't know what to tell you guys. I generally don't know what to tell you guys. So today's episode has been a report full of confusion and consistency, in the sense where we see players doing the same thing that they're always doing with Wirtz and, Van Dijk, Gakpo, Gravenberch, and so on. And lo and behold, Isak's still sitting on the bench and still training to the best of his ability. I hope they put him in a game long enough for him to make an impact, and that shows Liverpool and Slot that, hey, he's ready. So my name is Matt, and I appreciate that you guys are checking out Liverpool Latest today. Please feel free to let me know down in the comments section how you feel about all these stories I've been talking about and all these results of the matches and all these stats I've been discussing. I'll have more, hopefully, tomorrow for you. And until then, you will never walk alone. Have a great rest of your day.